Manon has removed Cat's Eye from her Instagram bio.
They dropped that teaser and made sure she wasn't in it. The history is repeated. And it's going to end up the exact same way it's always ended up, with the black girl out of the group.
I'm kind of glad that she is out of this group. I think that it opens up an opportunity for her to be a solo artist.
Let me tell you exactly how you dismantle a girl group in slow motion. Step 1. Sideline your most magnetic member with zero explanation. Step 2. Watch the internet lose its mind for months. Step 3. Release a new era teaser with her completely erased from the lineup. Step 4. Watch her quietly remove the group from her Instagram bio. And Step 5. Drop a song that sounds like the Six Flags theme park hired a producer on Fiverr and call it a comeback. That is the Cat's Eye timeline. That is where we are right now. And if you think I'm being dramatic, Manon was literally in the original choreography for this song. She was there. They rearranged the entire routine to cut her out. They didn't even tag her in the announcement post. The group that was selling sisterhood and friendship as its entire brand just erased its most talked about member like she was a rough draft. So let's talk about it. All of it, because this situation has gotten considerably more complicated than anyone expected, and it is not looking good for anybody involved. April 2nd, 2025 is the date that marks what now feels like Cat's Eye's official hard launch as a five-piece. They dropped a teaser for their new era lead single called Pinkies Up, all 5 remaining girls prominently featured, looking great, moving on. Manon? Nowhere. Not in the video, not tagged in the post, not acknowledged, just gone. And here's what makes that erasure land so much harder than it would have otherwise. The song leaked before the official release, and in that leaked version, Manon was in it. The choreography was built with her. She was part of this. Whatever decision was made to remove her happened after the fact, which means someone looked at completed work that included her and made the active choice to reconstruct everything around her absence. That is not an oversight. That is a decision. A deliberate, calculated, expensive decision. Because reorganizing choreography costs time and money, and whoever made it decided that cost was worth it. The song itself? I say this as a day one Cat's Eye stan with full respect for the girls. It does not sound promising. It lands somewhere between an aggressive theme park jingle and a caffeinated gummy bear commercial. Some fans are comparing it to Jump by Blackpink, and I need everyone to take that comparison back immediately, because Jump deserved better than that sentence. Internet Girl had diminishing returns from Naughty, and this feels like that pattern repeating, but louder and less self-aware. The branding that once felt like a masterclass, remember the Gap ad? Remember when everything they touched felt effortlessly cool? Has taken a turn that nobody can fully explain. Now, Manon's response. Because she didn't make a dramatic statement, she didn't go live, she didn't post a long caption. She simply removed Cat's Eye from her Instagram bio. And in 2025, that is its own kind of announcement. That is Instagram official. That is the digital equivalent of returning your keys and changing your locks simultaneously. She also allegedly unfollowed Missy from Dream Academy, which, the shade of that specific unfollow is not lost on anyone paying attention. Missy was allegedly giving full Abby Lee Miller energy in that studio, so honestly, that unfollow might have been long overdue. But then came the statement, and this is the part I need you to read carefully, because what Manon said and what Manon meant are operating on completely different frequencies. She wrote, "Thanks so much for all the love and support you've been sending my way. I'm really grateful for the patience and kindness everyone has shown during this time. Hybe, Geffen, and I are having positive conversations, and I feel supported. I'm happy and I'm healthy. I'll share more soon." That statement is doing the most extraordinary amount of work for a paragraph that technically says nothing. Positive conversations. I feel supported, not I am supported, not everything is great. "I feel supported," which is the corporate equivalent of a hostage saying they're being treated well while blinking in Morse code. She almost certainly signed an NDA. She almost certainly cannot say what she actually wants to say. And the fact that she liked posts referencing the mistreatment of black girls in entertainment spaces, liked posts about being excluded and labeled difficult, that didn't happen by accident. Manon has been sending signals to her fan base this entire time because it's the only communication channel she has left that isn't legally sealed shut. And here's the part of this story that genuinely makes it difficult to just shrug and move on. Cat's Eye went out of their way to scout Manon. They relocated her from her home country. They put her through a training program that turned, without warning, into a survival competition show. She received significant public hate during that process, and the label defended her exactly 0 times. She made it through all of that, became the face of the group, became arguably their most talked about and marketable member, and now she's being edited out of choreography that was already built around her. And some people in the comments want to suggest she's lazy. Danny's dad allegedly posted under a fan account suggesting Cat's Eye only needs hard workers and she can return when she decides to work, which is a comment that requires a level of audacity I genuinely did not know was available to a grown man on the internet. No one has ever fired the Beyoncé of the group and come out ahead. That is not how this works. That has never been how this works. The fan reaction has been what you would expect when you remove the gravitational center of something and tell everyone to keep orbiting. Supporters are leaving. Longtime stans are announcing they're done. The recurring theme across every comment section and every fan thread is the same. The music is not good enough to justify supporting a group that appears to be actively mistreating a member. And that's a fair position, because Cat's Eye was never selling music as its primary product. What they were actually selling was the fantasy of the group itself, the sisterhood, the it girl energy, the aspirational collective of beautiful, magnetic young women who seemed genuinely connected to each other. Manon wasn't just a member, she was the stamp of approval, the proof that the fantasy was real. Without her, you're left with the aesthetic of something that used to feel alive, and audiences are extremely good at detecting that difference, even when they can't articulate exactly what changed. Now, what happens to Manon? Because this is where my actual concern lives. When she mentioned positive conversations with Hybe and Geffen, some fans took that as a signal toward a solo career. I want to believe that. I genuinely do. But I don't. Because labels that stifle group members' individual endeavors while they're in a group rarely become champions of those same members the moment the group relationship ends. Are you still riding for Cat's Eye, or did Manon's bio update close that chapter for you? Like the video if this breakdown gave you something, subscribe so you're already here when the next update lands, and I'll see you next time.